Green Bay, I know y'all got Aaron Rodgers. I know he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now, but even the great ones need help. Get him a wide receiver. You already traded his best receiver to Vegas. You already sent him packing. He didn't want to stay on the franchise tag, so y'all handled your business. I ain't mad at you. You do what you got to do to move forward in this business. But since you made that move, with you guys having the 22nd and the 28th pick, I'm not seeing all the top caliber receivers available at the 22nd pick. So I see you guys trading up to go and get at least one guy. Maybe not. Well, no, I take that back. I see you guys trading up to get a guy at the wide receiver position because that makes sense. Now, in this year's draft, you could also go for a defensive player. You've lost some pass rusher. One that comes to mind is Darius Smith, who is now in Minnesota. I mean, what's with Green Bay players that leave Green Bay and they go to somebody in their division? They lost somebody to Chicago too, but that's besides the point. You guys, are in a great position. Get some explosive playmakers. I truly believe that the reason you guys didn't make it deep in the playoffs this past year and you lost at home in the snow against a California team and the 49ers is because you didn't have enough playmakers, enough guys for them to worry about. Aaron Rodgers is great, but he cannot do it himself. So having said that, Green Bay, let's go and get Aaron Rodgers new toys, improve the defense with the second pick. You guys aren't that far off from being great. So it's not like you guys have to really think about a lot of moves y'all can make. Unless somebody calls you with a great deal, I see the Green Bay Packers at least moving up one of their draft picks to move up and pick up a receiver and then go from there later on in the draft. Now Houston Texans, man, they're in an interesting position to me. They just traded away Deshaun Watson, who everyone was just knew it was their quarterback of the future, but everything fell flat with him, so he's now in Cleveland. But with that, they have a new quarterback and a new head coach. Everything's new, so this is another team in rebuild mode. With head coach Lovie Smith, it's hard to get a feel on what they're going to do as far as the draft's concerned. Now, they haven't really gone out there and done too much in free agency. No big names are heading to Houston this year. But one thing that did stick out to me was Lovie Smith, the coach, saying that he likes their quarterback. Davis Mills was a rookie last year, and he came in and he showed some potential in the eyes of his coach. Now, granted, last year, Lovie Smith was the defensive coordinator for the Texans. But even in saying that, he still was around and he saw some good things from him. And he said he is one of those players that flies under the radar. So they might just try to build an offense around this guy. But having said that, with them having high picks this year, 2 high picks, what do they go for? Do they go for wide receiver? Do they go for offensive lineman? Offensive lineman, you can never go wrong with, especially when it's a draft class like this. This draft class is loaded with offensive linemen. I've said that numerous times through numerous videos. And it's true. The 2022 draft this year for offensive linemen, there are a lot of guys you can choose from that could add some spunk to your team. And with the way Houston has showed a few sparks here and there last season, and if they decide to go ahead and commit to this new quarterback that they have, Mills could, it could be something special for them. Now, in rebuilding it, I've always said that it's more important to go for the protection of a quarterback instead of toys for the quarterback. Because we've seen numerous times what happens when you go out and you get toys for the quarterback, but if he ain't got no time to throw them the ball, it's really no point. So maybe they go and they pick out one of these high-rated offensive linemen. There's so many, throughout all the entire draft, not just the first round. All of these offensive linemen show some skills that they can use in Houston. And with the division that they're in, they look like they're up and coming. Jacksonville's making some moves, trying to make up for, I don't know how many years they've been bad, but they're making some moves to improve themselves. And now with Matt Ryan now in Indianapolis, Houston's going to have to make some moves. And Tennessee being Tennessee and still having Derrick Henry over there, maybe they need to get some guys over there that helps them keep up with the teams in their division. That's one thing you always got to consider when you're in the draft and you're trying to do anything in the playoffs, you always got to keep your eye on your competition within your division. Now, granted, Indianapolis had a fallout last year and didn't make the playoffs. Tennessee made it. Jacksonville, we all know what happened with Jacksonville. But all these new names in their division now, so Houston has to make some moves that will help benefit and complement their new quarterback if this is going to be his team from now on.
The final draft breakdown will be coming to you next Sunday. With the draft less than 2 weeks away, teams are making their final moves and decisions on free agency and moves in the draft. What deals will be made? What decisions will be made? What's your team have in store for this year's draft? Let's find out.